Welcome back. Today I tried to finish this video. Again, it's just taking a long time. So as we left off, we needed to go to the end hitbox. Okay. Okay. I think I wrote the script portion, but didn't actually type out or sorry, I didn't record it. As we can see. That part. Okay. Here we need to find as simple as it. We need some references to our own player. I think that's what I meant to say there. Here we need to find the hit. Here we need to define a signal as hit. We also need to define the hitbox data. For example, I'll just define damage. We also need some references to our own player and attack manager, which are 3 and 4 layers up respectively. For the ready function, we need to connect the signal on area entered to our damage function. The signal comes from extending area 2. The damage function, we can just print that it was called for now. I think that's acceptable. In our hitbox, here we need to define a signal as hit. We also need to define the hitbox data. For example, we can define damage. We also need some references to our own player and attack manager, which are 4 and 3 layers up. For the ready function, we connect the signal on area entered to our damage function, as well as set the collision mask. This signal comes from extending area 2D. I didn't like the mouth thing. What the? Why is the volume so low? Let me see what this audio sounds like first. Yeah. Oh, my headphones aren't properly connected. That's why. really don't think the audio should be broken like that. Come on. Audio tests. Audio test, audio test, audio test. Can we get an audio volume that actually makes sense? Yes. Okay, finally. In our hitbox, we need to define the signal has hit. We also need to define hitbox data. For example, we'll just define damage. We also need some references to our player and attack manager, which are 3 and 4 layers up. For the ready function, we connect the signal on area entered to our damage function. This signal comes directly from extending area 2D. This signal comes from extending area 2D. And in the ready function, we also set the mask. Let me redo that section. For the ready function, we connect the signal on area entered to our damage function. This signal comes from extending area 2D. We also set the collision mask. Finally, in the damage function, we can just print it for now. Okay, let's see. Is that audio good? Finally, in our damage function, we can just print that it was called. Okay. There's like a static sound here. That is slightly there, but I think can be gotten rid of. Yeah, it's gone now. Okay. Okay. So excellent. Okay. Group. Group. All right. So that's those layers. Wait. What's this? Okay. Oh, this. Uh, the return to continue. Okay. Okay, so then let's do a line in the script. And just start off with the continue colon. It seems like I'm a bit tired. Um, mm, mm, okay. Yeah. I mean, going back to attack manager. Mm, 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 Going back to the attack manager and its continue attack function. We could print print what the current frame is, and make a helper variable to track the current frame. The frame we are on instead of the current frame. Going back to the attack manager and its continue attack function, we can print what the frame we are on and make a helper variable to track the current frame. Mm, Put this thing out. I really shouldn't be playing with it. Oh, my. Okay. Ooh, I am sleepy once again, and that is my fault. Print, not the current frame we are on, and make a helper variable to track the current frame. Print the current frame number. Mm-hmm. And make a helper variable to track the current frame. Yeah. Next, let's add the condition, the end condition. Let's add the end condition, which stops and resets an attack. Mm, which stops and resets an attack. When the attack is ran through all of its frames. Uh, mm, mm, let's not delete st. I just thought of a funny personality. Someone could take common English words like let's and tomorrow and replace them with food names like lettuce and tomato. Let us meet tomato. That actually sounds like a great sentence. Okay, that's funny. That's funny. Let me add that to my notes. On like characters. To do this over so we can see where I'm going. Uh, for fun, other games, collabs. 1 second. Let me add to be hero. X. That's fun. Shit, I like that show. Uh, this is for characters and their abilities for art. Um, I guess it's a writing thing. Mhm. I forgot I wrote down overly murderous and torturous description of a spa treatment. I remember now why I said that, because it's hilarious, and it could be exaggerated. Hmm. That's just funny. That's just funny. And it would be absolutely insane to translate. That would be funny. I wonder, actually, could an AI just do that? 'Cause that's a really hard task for a real person. I also need to fix the GitHub stuff. I should mention that So I asked Claude. Basically, I've got two branches. One of them is slightly updated, but I made a lot of moves. It's annoying. And then it gave me a broken algorithm, then a working algorithm to basically sort what type they are for when we want to actually do the merge. Uh, the issue, there's some things that should exist and some things that shouldn't. So I'll have to still like go a little bit word by word. Lettuce tomato thing, get there. I should add more bullet points. This more bullet points. Back to the script, the rest of the script, script. Yeah. Uh, I can say the tiny thing you are. Okay. Uh, then we add. Then we'll set the current frame on. Okay. Then we can turn on the current frame and increment to the next frame. I guess this does work with like one frame as to greater than or equal to. Because if it was the active frame is 0, you add 1, and then you check the size and compare it. Now it's 1 to 1. Versus the active frame is 0. If you don't add anything, you compare it. Size 0, it increments to 1. It's out of range now. Is there not more screenshots for this session? Wait, really? Okay. Okay. Mm -hmm. Mm -hmm. Okay. Okay. Mm -hmm. Going back to our attack manager and its continue attack function, we can print the current frame number and make a helper variable to track the current frame. Next, let's add a condition which stops and resets the attack once it's ran through all of its frames. Then we can turn on the current frame and increment to the next frame. That is a terrible script. What am I thinking? Oh my gosh. It's just awful. Also, the batteries are charged for my controllers. Maybe I should do a gaming stream once in a while. Continue attack, going back to the attack manager and its attack function, we can print the frame number and make a helper variable to track the current frame. Next, let's add the end condition, which stops and resets the attack. I think I just didn't see the end condition. Okay. No. Let's do this more in order of the actual text. Or in the order of the code. Next, let's add the end condition. If the attack has ran through all of its frames, stop and reset. Set the attack. I think it would be funny if I accidentally made something that just replaces all text numbers of 1 to 5, 1 to 9 with arrows instead, so that if someone tries to send a message, they could type in the numpad notation and actually give the arrows. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it would also be cool if I could like auto-correct someone's inputs. So they say, so let's say someone sends a message, they put it in standard numpad notation, and they use like the button light punch. I could take that, translate it into the arrows, and also to the actual person's receiving end, the input map that they're using, which would be cool. Except that's also not something I need to do right now, because it's way later. That's a user interface problem. Okay, stop and reset its attack. Next, if we are running, okay, then let's add the continue. Okay. Let's add the end condition. If the attack has run through all of its frames, stop and reset the attack. Otherwise, enable the current frame and well, so here let's add. Yeah, actually, I should add the part about like the disable the current frame. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so slideshow, start from current slide. This needs to move. Print screen. Take it. Escape it. This slide would be deleted. And the slide would be moved. Are we going faster? Right, I think I went too far. No, I didn't. Just something else there. Mm-hmm. Pull the current frame and increment the active frame next time. We should also disable the previous frame. Making sure not to call it when it's on the very first frame, on the initial frame. Going to prevent an error. Okay. Edit here. In file folder. I didn't move it. Back. Okay. Here. Go to pictures. Screenshots. The very last one. Go back to paste. Not there. Oh, now you go here. 3 minutes ago. This one. Add it to the thing. And we record. Let's go back to our attack manager and its continue attack function. We can print the frame number and make a helper. We can print the current frame number and make a helper variable to track the current frame. Next, let's add the end condition. If the attack has ran through all of its frames, stop and reset the attack. Otherwise, enable the current frame and increment the active frame for next time. We should also disable the previous frame, making sure not to call it on the start frame to prevent an error. That was a bit laughing. It's really a fan sound. Maybe it's the chorus. Yeah, I suppose it helps. Okay. Okay, and it would be like, let's start testing, but first just make sure your inputs are actually set, and make sure there's one in the input map. Mhm. Alright. Okay. You just need to say. What do I say on this the actual thing? Yeah. Okay. We can test our code, but first, just double check your input is set correctly. Set. We can test our code, but first double check your input is set in the input map. As like punch is a custom input. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay. Once you are done that, make this test scene. We're going to test our code, but first just double check We can test our code, but first just double check. Yeah, that's a tongue twister somehow. We can check our code. We can test our code, but first just double check your input is set. Is there a better sentence for this? God damn it. Code. But before that. We can test our code, but before that, double check your input is set in the input map as light. In the input map, light punch is a custom input that I have for my project. Once you are done, make this test scene. And the colors here are just for clarity. Okay. We can test our code, but before that, double check your input is set in the input map. Light punch is a custom input for my project. Once you are done that, make this test scene. I didn't record any of that. Great. Nine. Okay. We can test our code, but before that, double check your input is set in the input map. Light punch for me is a custom input in my project. Once you are done that, make a test scene like this, as shown on the screen. The colors here are just for clarity. Okay. Test scene. I'll wait a small moment for you to pause, so your time is up. Not even the last part. Okay. How does this sound? Yeah, it's the right volume. It's like just cut a little bit of the extra space. Okay. From that, add insert space duration 5 seconds. Okay, just edit duration and add 5 to this. From 8 to 13. Okay. Awesome. Okay, and then shift group. Do, do, do. I think I should just put like noise suppressor on everything somehow. Oh, great, that's just wonderful. Okay. Um, this just applies to everything. I might as well delete from the rest. Don't need too much noise suppression. 5-minute video. Ah, damn it. Why? Sorry, no. Why is it so? Why? Okay, okay. Mm, okay. Quiz time. One second. Continue attack here has been made incorrect now. So I have to add it correctly. I think I need to actually just grab it myself. I did not open Godot. Wonderful. Let me look at that. Alright. Okay. This is hitbox in attack manager mini. Yep. Current screen. This section in its entirety. And put it back in the after the test. Put it here. Did I change this section as well, or no? I don't think so. Mm. Um, uh, how many questions can I have in a tip quiz? I forget. Mm-hmm. 10 quizzes per video. You have 4 questions. Does it limit to 4? It looks like it limits to 4. Okay, just minus. I'll just call these a null error together. Do I have any other quizzes with that many or more? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did I just go with these as is? I guess? Okay. Oh. Alright, let's do this. 1 second, actually. Why does this have a bullet point? Add effects. Okay. Slideshow. Slide. Print screen. What is the issue in the input? The image was called when it shouldn't be. Memory overflow. Error. No error. It's fine. There's no issues. This is not needed. Each of the scripts in large detail. Alright, and then we go here, we go forward twice, scroll down, take everything, go back twice, paste. I think not this actually. And go to Caden. We go to the project bin, we add some images. Can I go like this? Just drag. Oh my goodness, I could just do that the entire time. This is why you should just always experiment with your program. See if there's anything interesting. Why is the PowerPoint still here? Escape. Experimenting when doing things. I seem to have closed this full multi-view as well. That was an accident. All right. Okay. Time for a quiz. What do I want to start the quiz with? Okay. Assuming you actually did all of that code before, assuming you did everything before, and assuming you did everything correctly beforehand, assuming you did everything and tested, what is the issue in the output? Damage was called when it shouldn't have been. You got an array overflow error. You got a null error. Or it's fine and there are no issues. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Feel free to answer using the YouTube quiz feature. Mm-hmm. Feel free to put your answer in the YouTube quiz feature. Mm-hmm. Wait a bit. I think this spacing is the perfect amount of time. I just need to... Mm-hmm. I would have liked to group that ways in the game. Grouplets. Okay. Mhm. Group. Mm. I think I don't have an image for like the correct answer. But it's fine. Mhm. So the correct answer should be damage was called when it shouldn't have been. If you got any of the other ones, review your code with these more completed versions. Sorry. Uh, After quiz. Mm, After quiz. The correct answer is damage. Have been. But if you got any of the others, check your code against these. If you got any of the other errors, check your code against these. Click against these scripts. After which, I'll continue. So, okay. Then we just put these. Edit duration. I would have hoped they would still be selected. Edit duration. Purple. Let's do. If I do that, no, it's not all of them. It's purple resize. What does that even do? 2 seconds each. What does doing it with ripple do? Ah, it keeps them together. Okay, that's wonderful. Actually, right. The expected answer is damage was called when it shouldn't have been. If you got any of the others, feel free to check your code against these scripts that I'm showing on screen right now. Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Alright, and then after that, I wonder if my lung capacity is going to increase after all these videos. I don't speak that extended in sentences though for these. Okay, so that's just like their error check. And then we move on to the next part of the video, which is what actually happened. Okay, actually, what is the imagery that I want? So where's my slideshow? Where are the two things open? Oh yeah, that thing. That should be closed. That's why it looks like the docs instead of the PowerPoint. Okay. It's just a thing that they do. They run with the same code, basically. Which is why they're so compatible with each other. Okay. Mm -hmm. Mm -hmm. Do I just say this and go on with it? This slide basically doesn't exist, so that's just okay. Mm. Do I do a quiz on like the signals thing? I don't know. We already gone over some signals. Mm -hmm. Okay. The self hit protection part is next after what happened, so I have to do this. Mm -hmm. Mm -hmm. Mm -hmm. So what truly happened? Mm -hmm. So what actually happened? Mm Let's start by checking what we built. We made an attack with both a hitbox and a hurtbox. Mm-hmm. And that, and when the frame was enabled, the hitbox detected that same hurtbox. Some hurtbox, but since these are on the same layer, we need to have self-hit prevention. Okay. Be sleepy. How long have I been streaming? Hour 16, 17 minutes. Okay. So, 45 more minutes. Okay. Alright, let's do it. Yeah, that's all. Section. Let's go to our image function. Hitbox. And based on the script. Is there all the photo? First, we only care if the thing is a hurt box. Okay. Okay. Use a hurt box. Then let's add our player to hit exceptions if it's empty. Wait, should it be if it's empty? If it's empty, okay. Then we check if the area we are trying to hit is not in the hit exceptions. Okay. Outside the hit exceptions. Then we check if the area is we are trying to hit is not in the hit exceptions. Okay. Let me check out the area we're trying to hit is not any exceptions. We add it so we don't hit it more than we are trying to. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Next we check, we can check if the attack is blocked. Let's see, can check if the attack is blocked, which is not covered in this video. And to do things based on that. Okay. Then, lastly, we tell the attack manager we hit something passing important info, and the same to the area we hit, but since we don't have anything to call on that area, I have it comment down. Uh, stuff that are also not covered. And so it's commented out. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is that all I want to say here? I'm deleting this quiz. Mm-hmm. There. And just to prevent the error, I defined a block check that just returns false. Okay. What is this? The field's not connected. Okay. Mm-hmm. Next, let's move to the attack manager because the signal still needs to be connected. My brain is not fully focused. Probably because I'm tired and sleepy. Okay, I need to focus on actually doing this. That's the attack under because it still needs to be connected. Um, do I seriously not have one that's just like it without the image? Yeah, okay, duplicate, slide, move this art, actually doesn't matter, it's the same thing. Delete these two parts. Okay. Mm. Um, Next, I'm using the type manager because the signal still needs to be connected. First, we find the function we want to connect the signal to. Let's define the function that the signal connects to. This one, remix, remix itself and prints the name of the layer it. Okay. Then in the ready function, in the ready function, we need to reach down several layers until we reach the hitbox and boxes. H / hurt box layer, then verify, then if it's a hitbox and the signal has not been connected, connect the signal. Next, if it's a hurt box, set the area to the there. If it's a hurt box, assign the layer. Okay, any other script portions for this section? Alright. Let me try this entire section from start to beginning. So what actually happened? Self-hit detection. So what actually happened? Let's start by checking what we built. Literally not even in the right tense. So what actually happened? Period. Let's start by checking what we built. We made an attack with both a hitbox and a hurtbox. Then when the frame was enabled, the hitbox detected that same hurtbox. Since they are the same player, we need to have self-hit prevention. Let's go to our damage function in hitbox and add proper detection. First, we care only if the thing is a hurtbox. Then, add our player to the hit exceptions if the list is empty. Then we check if the area we are trying to hit is not in the hit exceptions. We check if the area is in the hit exceptions. If not, we add it so we don't hit it more than we are trying to. Okay. If it's not, we add it. So what actually happened? Let's start by checking what we built. We made an attack with both a hitbox and a hurtbox. Then, when the frame was enabled, the hitbox detected that same hurtbox. But since they're on the same player, we need to have self-hit prevention. Let's go to our damage function in hitbox and add proper detection now. First, we only care if the thing is a hurtbox. Then let's add our player to hit exceptions. To the hit exceptions. Then let's add our player to the hit exceptions. Then we check if the area in the hitbox. Then we check if the area is in the hitbox. Okay. Then we check that the thing we are trying to hit is then we check Check if the thing you're trying to hit is in hit exceptions. If not, we add it. Next, we can check if the attack is blocked, which is not covered in this video, and do some things based on that. Lastly, we can tell the attack manager we hit something, passing important information using the has hit signal. We also call on the area we hit from its player and some stuff that are not covered here. So it's commented out. We also call some things on the player we hit. But that is not covered. We also call something on the player we hit, but that is not covered here. So it's commented out. And just to prevent the errors, I define the block check that just returns false. Okay. Next, let's move the attack manager because the signal still needs to be connected. First, define the function that we want to connect the signal to. This one remits itself to and prints the name of the player it hit. Then in the ready function, we need to reach down several layers until we reach the hitbox. If it is a hitbox and the signal has not been connected, connect that signal. Next, if it's a hurt box, assign the player. Do I have them in screenshots or no? No, I don't. Okay. Nope, this is the wrong one. Add effects. Awesome. Slideshow. Let's start from current slide. Current screen. So what happened? Next slide. I changed my focus so I didn't. Right. Okay. I may not be able to record it. Mm-hmm. Actually, I'm concerned that the arrows won't show up on like mobile, as is for this one. It's like they show up when I see them here, but they don't look like they'd show up. Increase their thickness. Next we'll import the images. I think I might end up calling it there for today. All the way to here, but control click with this one. Key back twice. Control V, verify that this one has the bigger arrows. Yeah, those look pretty thick to me. Right, and then import into Gaiden. So many files. At least they mostly come in order. Also interesting that you can just do this. As that so it renders automatically. Great. Okay, cool. Alright. I'll stop that for now. And I'll ask just on tape now, like Claude things. Alright. Right. So I also asked it to get sorted as well, so I have like some files for that in a sorted form. This should be over on the other monitor. Close Godot. Actually, this has really been made. It's just looking at things. Text editor. Yeah, so I sorted the thing a little bit, and there's just a bunch of stuff that's like there that might not need to exist. Um, my concern is the kit, which some of the stuff just exists, and I don't know if it's needed. This stuff. These look pretty normal. So, yeah, okay. This is more info into the stuff at surface worth your attention, or for several genuinely poor files, get renamed to text failed to link no versions at all. You wrote them heavily, enough to Solving folder, I can just delete it. Okay, so let me try to do the git. It's this one copy. I just I heard reset. Not really anything. You see the git status. All right. Maybe I should wait until I actually finish the dang thing, the video, so I can fully commit and move on, because then that video will also be moved into main, and then like core, I need to delete a bunch of stuff. Okay, so let me work on the add-on rather instead. For copy, add, wait, hidden folders is the main thing. Hidden folders. I need to delete all of these. Wait, no. I need to make some changes here. I need to delete the example stuff. Organization, entities, CPUs, owners. Basically, just delete this entire thing. Does it have any exports? Yeah, actually, they do have exports. God damn it. Your player has exports. Agent attacks has. Every attack has exports because all of them have data and all of them have stuff. Like, it actually breaks a lot. So, unless it's a system thing, let me open this in Godot so I can really see it better. Which, it might have just, like, broken. Because there's no .godot or config file anymore. I guess it might have remade one. Okay. Do-do-do. Did I seriously delete the wrong file? Yeah, I should just go to trash and restore them. This really needs to be sorted by last track. Okay. The rest I think is fine, right? Okay, go back to Godot. So input map, this is fine. This is the thing that needs to die. Example parts. There's not export on it, but like this stuff's all dead. Start here. Might as well. Example. Remove that folder. Entities, agent player stuff, all of your... Okay, so attacks are gone. Animations are gone. Resources die. Actually, I don't know if I need to delete all that. Delete this stuff. Delete the player. Base characters. It's important. Entity stats, resources. Yeah, those parts are actually important. Okay. CPUs. Zoners. All scenes. Their settings don't need to exist, so just delete them entirely. Other entities, targets, hurtable player is reasonably usable. However, does it export anything? It exports everything. Save this. I want to see what happens if I just delete the export configs. Do I need to reopen it? I understand if they were saved, but now they wouldn't be. What are you looking for? Bar zoner settings, which is part of something closed. It's part of testing. Wait, what? Is it back? No. Dependency. You don't need to have this dependency. Mm, What hidden files break everything? The moment they disappear. First off, the git is not needed. Sure. Do I need to delete this, supposedly? Files. Project.godot and the .godot file. And delete everything in there except for the add-ons folder. If I delete... I think it's this folder. Delete that one. It's imported. It's import information. Yeah, actually, if I delete this folder, restart the editor. It makes a new one. What does it actually end up doing? I'm assuming like a trillion things should break. Why are you still assigned? Is it all in the Godot project settings? There's no way. There's no way that it's all fixable. I don't believe you. Do you have all your exports? No. Okay, I'm closing it first, then deleting it, then opening it. Just to see if it still has it. If there's just a project.godot. Nothing else. Because the restart, I think, is just like in RAM. It knows that it has it. It can still do it. Still fix itself. If I do this, there's nothing. This character. Click on this. Why are they still assigned? How does the editor know this? How? I'm deleting everything except for project.godot. What does a file look like then? Just drain notepad. Why is this its UID? Yeah, well, that's where the resources. I want to open a scene file and see what it looks like in text. The text editor. Okay. Wait, is that really okay? So primary hypothesis. This has an export. Okay, parent node or whatever. Node name, node. It says parent. Whether or not it is or isn't existing. Script equals extrjtp. Okay, so rectangle or 5bu. Ex resource. Um, hmm. It's just not that clear. Base character. Open with text editor. ext, which I'm guessing is export. Resource. Class and animation tool. Simple image effect UI. Systems. Frame component movement. Yeah, it's just genuinely uh saving the resources. Yeah. Fine. Mm, mm, mm. What that also means is I should delete all the godot names. I should just delete this entire folder and open the zip file and then delete everything. That shouldn't be in spots that it's not supposed to be. So if I just delete that, the battery name. No, the battery name. I still need to do the get attributes. Battery name. Okay. Yeah. I need to do the file rename. Okay, that's another time. But I'll note down that it works. Okay. At see you tomorrow. Now I hopefully finish the video.